unpredictability. The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everybody eventually says that they're as lost as you. So everybody shout it together. Hey, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you go, there's a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face, somebody who needs a hug. Everywhere you go, yeah, you're lost out there and you're all alone. A light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, la 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 la.
Alright, you guys, so I just finished watching Fuller House Season 1 on Netflix. It's the Full House revival series that they're exclusively doing on Netflix. And I'm going to start off by saying that I personally was never a fan of Full House, the original show. I never got into it. I never liked it. I tried. I watched a lot of episodes. In fact, I watched the whole series. It's just I could never, eventually I saw the whole series, not like week by week or anything, but for me it didn't click with me. Wasn't a fan of the original show. But I thought, Full House in modern day, maybe that will be cool. Maybe they would fix a lot of the mistakes that I personally had with it. And I know Full House has got a big fan base. A lot of people love that show. But like I said, for me, I didn't love the original. But let's talk about Fuller House. And also, before we get into this review, I'd like to add that I personally love the idea of Netflix kind of reviving all these shows that they're trying to revive. The idea of it is cool, bringing back some of the older shows, kind of doing like a sequel series type thing. I personally am excited for the Gilmore Girls revival, because I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan. Shut up, I love that show. But yeah, so I'm not against the idea of them reviving it. But I figured, you know what? I hated the original show. I'll give this one a fair shot. But Season 1, let me just say, to start off with this review, rant, whatever, Fuller House is unwatchable. It is. There's nothing really good about this season that I can, really find. There's nothing redeemable about it, as far as I could tell. I endured 13 episodes of the whitest of nonsense. I thought the original show was bad. This one may be either just as bad or worse. But like I said, personally, I wasn't a fan of the original show. So, I don't know. If you're a fan of the original show, there's a good chance you might like this one. But like I said, I'll get into that in a minute. Let's talk about the cast, okay? I like the idea of most of the original cast coming back, aside from the Olsen twins, because eventually, apparently, they grew a brain and decided, we're not coming back to do this shit. Which, props to you, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Props to you. I thought Elizabeth was the only good one out of the Olsen bunch. But, hey, apparently you guys grew a brain. But yeah, the cast, the returning cast, we're going to talk about the returning cast first. And I'm not going to remember all their names, but DJ Tanner. The chick who played DJ Tanner, she was okay, I guess. Like, I didn't really have a problem with her acting. But a lot of the writing and a lot of the acting is so bad. It's like I said, it's hard to watch. But I didn't really have a problem with the chick who played DJ's acting. It's just, I get the fact that her evolution, the show's about her. The show is about her and her 3 sons, and, she's having her sister and her friends and all this stuff move into the house, and, it's pretty much the same idea, just with the characters from the old ones all grown up and with their own kids and stuff like that. So, the idea of it's not bad, but like I said, I don't have a problem with DJ's acting. I just thought, it's kind of, how do I put this, stupid with what they did with her in the season, and I'm going to try not to spoil anything major in the season. There's not that many things to spoil, really, but her whole thing about, you know, eventually having to choose between two different guys. And no, that's not a spoiler. But her having to choose between two guys, I thought was really dumb. It felt really forced. I didn't care about either one of them. You can have the nostalgia factor with Steve, her high school boyfriend, who's played by Scott Wagner, the guy who voiced Aladdin, by the way, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, it was cool to see him back, and he's still exactly the same as he was in the original show. So, it was kind of cool to see him back, and all the fans, the hardcore fans, will have nostalgia towards him and root for him. But this other guy, like I said, I didn't like either of them. I thought the whole idea of that was really forced, personally. Stephanie, Jodie Sweetin, Stephanie Tanner. Man, if I had to pick a favorite of the kids in the original show, it would be Stephanie. There was always something about her that, I didn't mind. Like, I didn't hate completely. But watching her now, man, she got hot. She got smoking. I know she was into drugs and all that stuff a while back, and now she's cleaned up and whatnot. But yeah, she still looks good. She does. She probably was the best actress on the show. Like, she was the one who acted the best, in my opinion, which isn't saying much for this show. Kimmy Gibbler. Yes, what's her name? Andrea Barber. I think that's her name, if I remember correctly. Andrea Barber, who played Kimmy Gibbler, one of the most annoying characters in all of television. She's back, and I always thought she was unattractive, personally. I didn't really like her at all. I don't like the way she looks. I don't like the way she acts. Now she doesn't look that bad. Like, she actually kind of got hot, too. I'm like, alright. But Kimmy Gibbler, she is the same old Kimmy Gibbler. It's just now she has her own daughter and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, Kimmy actually found someone to breed with. That's a scary fucking thought. But yeah, let's see. Bob Saget as Danny Tanner. Bob Saget will always be older Ted Mosby to me. He will. He's not going to be remembered from me. I'm never going to think of him as Danny Tanner. I'm just not. I'm going to think of him as older Ted Mosby. But that's just me. But Bob Saget, I expected him to be in the show a lot more than what he was. But, hey, whatever. Bob Saget didn't really do much. He didn't. He didn't do much in this. Maybe season 2. Please don't get a season 2. But everybody's watching it. And there are people out there who seem to be enjoying it. And hey, props to you guys for actually liking this. And, for your sakes, I do hope you get a season 2. I just hope we don't. But yeah, Bob Saget, not much I can say about him. John Stamos. Man, that dude doesn't age, doesn't he? I swear he found the fountain of youth or something. He looks better now than what he did back then. And I gotta say, his character is still the same, kind of, but he has grown up a bit since, the older series. He's in the older series, and in the first few seasons, he was like that ladies' man, and kind of like, I don't give a crap what nobody thinks of me kind of attitude. And, eventually he found his soulmate and got married and had kids and all of that. And this one, he's been more mature. He's grown up. He's all about his wife and his kids, and he still likes to make the music and stuff like that. I gotta say, Uncle Jesse probably had the best evolution in between the years. So, but like I said, John Stamos again doesn't really do much in this show. And Dave Coulier, Joey Gladstone, the guy who's walking around with the puppets and the Rocky and Bullwinkle impressions, and he's going like, is this made of wood? That I can't do that impression, but, I'm like, in the original show, he's a fucking man-child. He is. And he was, in his, early 30s by then. By the time this show rolls around, he's in his, late 50s, maybe even early 60s. You would think that he would have grown up a little bit, but still had, he still would be the comic relief and stuff like that. But he's exactly the fucking same. He's almost 60 years old, still living in the basement kind of thing, and doing the exact same shit he was doing 25 years ago. No evolution towards that character whatsoever. None. Was he funny? Okay, I gotta tell you, the 13 episodes, I had small chuckles twice. Not full-on laughs at all. There was not one scene where I was like laughing my ass off or anything like that. There was 2 jokes that made me chuckle. And that was it. And, you know, he's, like I said, Joey's supposed to be the comic relief. It wasn't even from him. Lori Loughlin, is that how you say her name? She played Becky, you know, Jesse's wife and stuff like that. She's still kind of hot. I mean, she is getting older, and you can kind of tell that she's aging a bit. Her evolution, again, she's hardly there, so she really didn't change much. I mean, maybe there's more to her than what we saw, but she's pretty much the same old Becky. She is. The twins, Nikki and Alex, you know, Jesse and Becky's twins, they pop up in here for a minute as well. Again, I'm not spoiling anything. I think you guys all, if you guys are following this, you probably already knew that they were going to be coming back. And they grew up to be surfer college kids. Like, they like to surf and shit. I'm like, alright, didn't really expect them to go that way. I expected them to be more like their dad. I mean, in a way, they're very much their dad's children, but, you know, I expected them to be a little bit cooler, maybe, and be in the show a little bit more, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's Fuller fucking House. Also, let's talk about some of the new characters, the new kids. The middle child of DJ Tanner that was the smartest one, who liked to clean and shit, just like, you know, his grandfather and stuff like that. He's the one I had the least problems with. And that's pretty sad, considering that he's pretty young. So hey, props to you, kid. You're not the best actor. I have a feeling you have potential. You will get there one day. But it's just not now. It's just not yet. You gotta do more. You gotta learn more. You have the potential to be a pretty good actor one day in the future. But as for right now, you were just the best actor in this awful, shitty piece of shit of a show. So yeah. The baby, nothing to say about the baby. The baby didn't do nothing. He didn't talk or nothing, so I'm not even going to talk about that. The oldest of the Tanner children, or the Fuller children, as they're called. Yeah, because DJ is no longer DJ Tanner. She's supposed to be DJ Fuller now because she married and her husband died and all that stuff. And hence why all the stuff's coming in and all that. But yeah, but yet she still goes by DJ Tanner. This is supposed to be Fuller House, not Tanner fucking House. Oh well, that's not a big complaint. That's just the name. Whatever. What are you going to do? But the older child of hers, I did not like that kid at all. Like, I wanted something bad to happen to that child. I did. Not really a problem in his performance, because like I said, he's just a kid. I can't really fault him too much. He doesn't really know much when it comes to acting, is my guess. It's just the character, didn't like the character. Kimmy Gibbler's daughter, Ramona. And no, not Ramona from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, not Ramona from the Hobson song, not, you know, the good Ramona, anything. But hey, you know, I hated that kid too. And the whole thing with Kimmy Gibbler and her Latin husband, ex-husband, whatever you want to call him, what the fuck up was, what was up with that guy? He's so stereotypical Latin. You know, he's the stereotypical Latin guy who's just dancing around and with a thick accent and the Kimberlina, and he's doing all these Kimberlina, mi amor, and I can't do shit, but, you know, hey, that guy was fucking annoying. Some of the guest stars that pop up in this show are, I mean, the best guest star in this show was the episode that Macy Gray appeared. Macy Gray, who apparently in this world is still relevant, which is weird because I haven't seen or heard anything from Macy Gray in quite a long time. But hey, apparently Macy Gray is relevant in the Full House universe, and you know, her stuff was her stuff was okay. I didn't hate Macy Gray's stuff completely, but everything. Oh, Stephanie's now a DJ, because it's just, this show has so many things wrong with it. This show did not work for me. Like I said, I also did not like the original Full House. But if you're a fan of the original Full House, there are definitely a lot of nostalgic moments for you, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of them. For me personally, there's no nostalgia there. I don't care. I don't care about the original. I don't care about the new one. The homages, and them doing the same exact things that they did in the original show, it's just, why do the same thing over and over again? Some could argue, be like, okay, well, it worked the first time. They were successful the first time. Okay, fine. But you're in different times. You can't be doing the exact same shit you did before. Do something new. Do something different. Do something modern. Don't do the same old shit you did in the late 80s. It just doesn't work anymore, in my opinion. So, all in all, guys, do I recommend Full House? There are two ways I'm going to grade this. If you're a fan of the original Full House, if you're like a big, hardcore, die-hard fan of Full House, you will probably enjoy this, and thus I recommend checking it out. However, if you're not that big on Full House, or if you're like me and just wasn't a fan at all, this show is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. Don't recommend watching it. Don't even bother checking it out. If you don't have Netflix, this is no reason to get Netflix. It's not one of those shows that's going to stick with me. Maybe it's something really bad, but I don't know. I'm trying so hard to be nice to this. It's, like I said, it's hard. I can't be nice to this show. I can't. I'm sorry. I tried. The nicest thing I could do was waste my time and sit through all 13 episodes of this fucking thing. Because the moment the first episode ended, I'm like, are we done yet? There's 12 episodes left! Oh my god. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get this over with. But I wanted to sit through all 13. I wanted to be fair to it. I wanted to give it a chance. I wanted to give it at least a decent review. But no. For me, personally, my rating for Fuller House Season 1 is an F. F for Full House, F for Fuller House, F for go fuck yourself, Fuller House. I don't care. Fuck you. I'm done. I'm out. And yeah, if you like this video, like the video, comment, share, subscribe. Just do it!